Harriet Tubman was born into slavery around 1822 in Maryland, where her early life was filled with hardship, fear, and struggle. Her original name was Araminta Ross, but she later chose the name Herriet after her mother. From a very young age, she was forced to work under cruel conditions. She was often hungry, cold, and exhausted, and like many enslaved people, she was punished harshly for even the smallest mistakes. Despite this, Herriet showed signs of strength and determination that set her apart. One of the most defining moments of her childhood came when she was still a young girl. She was sent to a store on an errand when she saw an overseer trying to capture another enslaved man who was attempting to escape. Herriet refused to help, and in anger, the overseer threw a heavy metal weight. It struck Herriet on the head instead. The injury was severe and caused her to suffer from headaches, dizziness, and sudden sleeping spells for the rest of her life. However, Herriet later believed these experiences gave her vivid dreams and visions, which she felt guided her actions and strengthened her faith. As Herriet grew older, her desire for freedom became stronger. She listened carefully to stories about free states and escape routes. In 1849, when she learned she might be sold and separated from her family, she made the brave decision to run away. Leaving behind everything she knew, including her loved ones, she traveled alone through forests, swamps, and hidden paths. She moved mostly at night, using the North Star as her guide. After a long and dangerous journey of nearly 100 miles, she finally reached Pennsylvania, where slavery was illegal. For the first time, she experienced freedom, but instead of feeling complete joy, she felt a deep sadness because her family and others were still enslaved. Herriet made an extraordinary choice that would define her legacy. Rather than remaining in safety, she returned to the South to help others escape. She became a key figure in the Underground Railroad, a secret network of routes and safe houses organized by people who opposed slavery. Over the next several years, Herriet made around 13 dangerous trips back into slave territory. Each journey was filled with risk, as there were rewards offered for her capture and severe punishment if she was caught. Traveling mostly during the night, Herriet guided groups of enslaved people to freedom. She used clever methods to avoid detection, including disguises, coded songs, and signals. She relied on trusted allies who provided shelter and food along the way. Herriet carried a small pistol, not only for protection but also to ensure that no one turned back out of fear, which could endanger the entire group. Her leadership was firm but compassionate, and she became known for her ability to stay calm under pressure. Remarkably, she never lost a single person on any of her rescue missions. Because of her courage and success, Herriet earned the nickname Moses, inspired by the biblical leader who led his people to freedom. Her work made her one of the most famous conductors of the Underground Railroad and a symbol of hope for countless enslaved people. When the American Civil War began in 1861, Herriet continued to serve the cause of freedom in new ways. She worked for the Union Army as a nurse, caring for wounded soldiers and using her knowledge of herbal medicine to treat illnesses. She also served as a cook and later became a spy and scout. Herriet gathered important information about Confederate positions and movements, which helped Union forces plan their strategies. One of her most remarkable achievements during the war was her role in the Combahee River Raid in 1863. Working alongside Union officers, Herriet helped plan and guide a mission that led to the liberation of more than 700 enslaved people in South Carolina. This made her one of the first women in American history to lead a military operation, further proving her extraordinary courage and leadership. After the war ended, Herriet settled in Auburn, New York, where she continued to dedicate her life to helping others. She took care of her aging parents and opened her home to those in need. She later established a home for elderly African Americans who had nowhere else to go. Herriet also became active in the fight for women's rights, working alongside other leaders who believed women should have the right to vote and be treated equally. Although Herriet had done so much for her country, she struggled financially for many years and had to fight to receive a pension for her service during the war. Despite these challenges, she never stopped helping others or speaking out for justice. In her later years, Herriet's health declined, but her spirit remained strong. She spent her final days in the home she had created for the elderly. In 1913, she passed away peacefully, surrounded by those she had inspired and helped. Herriet Tubman's life is remembered as one of incredible bravery, sacrifice, and determination. She not only escaped slavery herself, but risked her life repeatedly to bring freedom to others. Her actions changed the lives of many and left a lasting impact on history. Today, she is honored as a hero who proved that even in the face of great danger and injustice, one person's courage can light the way for many.